to this guided breathwork and meditation session. Once you're seated or lying down as comfortably as possible, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and then take one big deep breath in all the way to the top and hold whenever you get there. Contract your pelvic floor, lower abdomen, upper abdomen, chest with the pressure build to the crown of your head, and then let it all go with a big sigh. And then really nice and slowly, breathing in through the nose. Really nice and slowly, drawing out the length of the inhale. Let go through the mouth. Again, really nice and slow. You can think about breathing out through a straw if it helps slow it down. Breathe in through the nose, just starting to slow everything right down. Let go through the mouth. And again, you can think about breathing out through a straw if that's helpful, just to slow it all down. In through the nose, and again, just keeping it slow, following the rhythm of the drum. Let go through the mouth. Very soon I'm going to stop giving those verbal cues, but you just carry on breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you continue breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, we're going to start to focus on different senses in the body. Any sense of smell as you slowly breathe in through the nose, or maybe noticing a lack of any strong sense of smell. Taste as you breathe out through the mouth, or noticing a lack of any strong taste. Just continuing this nice slow rhythm in through the nose and out through the mouth. Smell on the inhale, taste on the exhale. And even if you've struggled to maintain focus until this point, recognize in any moment you could just start again. Smelling on the inhale, tasting on the exhale, in this nice slow rhythm. Seeing how much you can just bring your attention to these really subtle senses over the next few breaths. Maintaining that focus on smell on the inhale, taste on the exhale. Then at the end of the next exhale, you can just let your breathing return back to normal. And let go of the focus on smell or taste. And having focused in on the sense of smell and taste, you'll probably get a feeling that neither of these senses are making up too much of the big picture of how you're perceiving this moment. And having closed your eyes and let go of most of your sense of sight, you're just left with 2 of the 5 traditionally recognized senses through which you're getting most of your input in this moment. What you can hear and what you can feel. So we're going to take a little bit of time to focus on each one of those senses individually, starting with what you can hear. And very soon I'm going to give you 20 to 30 seconds without the sound of my voice to focus as much as possible only on what you can hear. And in that time, what I'm going to invite you to do is to let go of any story behind what's causing the sounds. You can just treat each noise like an object in your awareness, a thing to pay attention to. And if you notice that there's any tension and waiting for the next sound, then I'd also invite you to do this in as relaxed a way as possible, recognizing that you don't actually have to do anything. The sounds just arise all by themselves anyway, and then they last for as long as they're going to last, and eventually fade and make space for the next sound. And in this moment, you can hear the gentle tapping of the drum, the sound of my voice, maybe other noises from the environment that you're in. And very soon, I'm going to give you that 20 to 30 seconds without the sound of my voice, but then you can just really let go of what's actually causing the sounds. Just listening, receiving the sounds as they arise all by themselves, last for as long as they're going to last, eventually fade, and make space for the next sound. So taking the next 20 to 30 seconds now to focus only on what you can hear. If my voice is interrupting a thought, in the recognition of that, just keep coming back to what you can hear for the next few seconds until we move the focus from what you can hear to what you can feel. And I'm going to invite you at first to pay attention to any points of contact between your body and the environment you're in. So if you're seated, it might be the soles of the feet on the floor, the back of the legs, the back against the chair, the arms gently resting in the legs. But if you're lying down, it might be the heels, the calves, the hamstrings, the glutes, lower back, mid back, upper back and shoulders, arms in contact with whatever's lying beneath you, all the way up to where the back of your neck and the back of your head comes in contact with anything laying beneath it. And you might also notice the feeling of the clothing against your body or any jewelry that you might be wearing, any glasses or watches. And very soon, we're going to take the attention from what's going on outside the body to what's going on inside. And we'll do that with a simple body scan, which I'll give you another 20 to 30 seconds without the sound of my voice to complete. But before we begin, I'm going to explain that process. Keep it as simple as possible. You just move a point of awareness from the crown of your head slowly down through your body, simply noticing what is in this moment, not trying to change anything. And as you're doing that, I'm also going to invite you to do something similar to when you were letting the sounds come and go. Let go of any story associated with anything you notice going on in your body. So if there's a sensation that you become aware of that feels light and positive and good, how much could you let go of those labels and just feel the feeling? Similarly, if there's something you'd normally put a label on and call it pain or tension, how much could you let go of those labels and just feel it, just for this moment? You take that point of awareness from the crown of your head slowly down through the body, noticing whatever the physical sensation is, feel it fully, then just keep the awareness moving until you notice the next sensation, and so on until you're all the way down to the tips of your toes. So I'm going to give you those 20 to 30 seconds now, without the sound of my voice, just noticing what is, scanning from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. And again, if my voice has just interrupted a thought, that's okay. Pick up from the scan wherever you left off, ensuring you get all the way down to the tips of your toes, just noticing what is in your body in this moment. And as you were scanning down through your body, you may or may not have become aware of some physical sensations that are associated with the breath. Maybe the feeling of the air entering and leaving the body at the tip of the nose, the beginning of each inhale and throughout each exhale. Maybe you notice the feeling of movement in the chest as the lungs fill with air and there's some rib cage movement and an expansion and contraction in that part of the body. Maybe you noticed some movement lower down in the body as the diaphragm moves down and the belly gently rises on every inhale and falls on every exhale. Maybe you notice a mix of some or all of those things, or some sensations that I haven't even suggested. There's no right or wrong. What I'm inviting you to do in this moment is just to pay attention to how it feels to breathe. You don't have to change the rhythm of your breath. Just let it do whatever it wants to do. But notice the raw physical sensations of breathing. Seeing if you can track the next breath entirely with your awareness. Just the raw physical sensations. Noticing the moment it begins. And the inhale eventually turns into an exhale until it completes and the air leaves the body. And if you successfully track that entire breath with your awareness, then just begin again. Do the same on the next breath. And if any part of you still feels like you've struggled to maintain focus throughout this meditation so far, recognize you can always start over again. And anything up until this point, in some sense, doesn't matter at all. There's no reason why the next 2 or 3 breaths can be the most focused you've been all day, the most focused you've been all week, the most focused you've been all year, or the most focused you've ever been. Just paying attention to what physical sensations arise from the breath. Seeing if you can track that next breath from the moment it begins until the moment that it ends. And if you're successful, simply begin again. We're going to keep the focus on the breath here, but instead of just observing it as it moves passively, what I'm going to invite you to do in a moment is move the breath consciously. And we're going to move it in a way that might be a little bit faster than is comfortable, but there is a reason for that. And remember that anything I invite you to do with your breath is only an invitation. So if it ever feels like too much, just simply breathe at a rate that feels better for you. But if you can stay along with the rhythm that I'm guiding the breath, going fully in and letting it go, then I would suggest sticking with it. And after a period of deeper breathing, going fully in and letting it go, I'll invite you to hold your breath in a couple of different ways. But again, these are just invitations. Follow along if it feels good. Don't follow along if it doesn't. As we go through 3 rounds of guided breathing in this way, you might experience some tingly sensations in the fingertips, the toes, maybe even the nose or the lips. If you do, it's absolutely safe and nothing to be concerned about. Likewise, if you experience a little bit lightheadedness, that's absolutely okay. But if you don't like those sensations and you want to feel more normal, just breathe in a more normal way. It's as simple as that. And we'll begin by taking one big deep breath all the way into the top. Breathe in as much as you possibly can, all the way to the very, very top, and hold when you get there. Contract the pelvic floor, lower abdomen, upper abdomen, chest. Let the pressure build to the crown of the head, and then let it all go with a big sigh. And then breathe in. Let go. Breathe in. Let go. In. Let go. Breathe in. Let go. Keep that rhythm going. next exhale, just holding your breath. Pausing at the bottom of the next exhale. Noticing any raw physical sensations in your body. Once you come to the end of the next breath and just pause. Maybe it's the beating of your heart, the pulse running through your veins. If you need to breathe before I give the cue, that's okay. If you can continue holding, that's amazing. Maybe noticing any tingly sensations in the body. If you haven't done so already, breathe in all the way to the top. Breathe in as much as you possibly can, all the way to the very, very top, and hold when you get there. Contract your pelvic floor, lower abdomen, upper abdomen, chest. Let the pressure build at the crown of the head, and then let it all go with a big sigh. We begin again by breathing in. Let go. Breathe in. Let go. Again, at the end of the next exhale, just pause. Just hold your breath at the bottom of the next exhale once you let go of the next breath. And then simply feel. Again, paying attention to what you notice in the body, receiving the sensations, whether that's the beating of the heart, the pulse, the veins, any tingles throughout the body. If you need to breathe before I give the cue, that's okay. If you can continue holding, that's great. Then breathing back in all the way to the top. Breathe in as much as you possibly can, all the way to the very, very top, and then hold. Whenever you're there, contract the pelvic floor, lower abdomen, upper abdomen, chest. Let it feeling of pressure build in the crown of the head, and let it all go with a big sigh. And then for the third and final time this way, we begin again by breathing in, let go, in, let go. Breathe in all the way to the top. Breathe in as much as you possibly can. At the very, very top, just hold. When you're holding your breath, contract the pelvic floor, lower abdomen, upper abdomen, chest. Let the pressure build all the way to the crown of the head, and then let it go with a huge sigh. And just pause at the bottom of that exhale. And this time, in your own time, just feel into whenever you get the urge to breathe. When you do get that urge, make the first breath a nice big deep one in all the way to the top. If it feels good, you can contract the muscles up through the body again, just like we did before. The pelvic floor, lower abdomen, upper abdomen, chest. Let the pressure build to the crown, and then let it go again with a sigh. But after that, just let your breathing return back to normal. And once you've let your breathing return back to normal, starting to move from a phase of focused attention to as much relaxation as possible. If your mind wants to think, let it think. If it wants to be still, let it be still. Cura cuerpecitos, limpia, limpia espirititos. Cura, cura cuerpecitos, limpia, limpia espirititos. Cantaremos y caritos, abuelita curandera. Danzaremos muy juntitos, sirenita bobensana. Rai, 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.